Hey guys, Apocalypso here, back with a very special episode of Extreme AI Matchups. It is one of two special episodes for the Dynasties of India expansion. Let me load it. It is, okay, so it is the Bengalis versus, okay, so I'll pause it for right now. So we've got the Bengalis, Dharmapala as the Bengalis, and then you have Um, Vikramaditya the First as the Dravidians. I probably totally butchered that. Um, so these are two of the new expansion civilizations for Dynasties of India that came out just a couple days ago. Um, actually yesterday, if you're watching this when it comes out, but I got it a day early because I pre-ordered it, so I got to play it a day early. But I'm gonna do two, two special episodes because there are three and half new civilizations added. One of the new civilizations got a significant overhaul, so I felt it made the most sense to just feature it again. Anyway, so that's the Dravidians. Going with the Bengalis. I want the right color here. Alright, so the Bengalis, they are an elephant and naval civilization. You can kind of see that with the elephant archer. They have the elite elephant archer, and then they have the elite battle elephant, and they have the siege elephant. So they have three different kinds of elephants that are fully upgraded for the most part. So they don't have thumb ring, but they do have ring archer armor, bracer, plate boarding armor, and blast furnace. So they're almost completely fully upgraded. But anyway, elephant units receive 25% less bonus damage and are more resistant to conversion. Now this bonus is actually huge because the elephant's two main weaknesses are pikes and monks. Pikes because of the huge bonus damage that they receive, and monks because of their slow speed. And the monks can kind of convert them before they have a chance to catch up to them and kill them. So that bonus definitely helps mitigate that those weaknesses, I would say. Town centers spawn two villagers when the next age is reached. Now, if you have a waypoint set for the town center, um, then the two villagers that are spawned, they will automatically go to that waypoint. So it may be wise if you want those two villagers to do anything in particular to set a waypoint before you finish advancing, and then they'll automatically go there. Now, this is town centers spawn two villagers, so it's not just a maximum of two villagers. It is a minimum of two villagers. So let's say you have three town centers when you reach the Imperial Age. That means you are going to have six new villagers that you get just from advancing. That's that's a good bonus. I mean, three is not an unreasonable number for of town centers for the average player to build in a game. They might even build more than that, so the value gets even better. But three free villagers, they don't take any time to create and well are free. So you can set those villagers to work right away, and you don't have to worry about taking the time to train them or you know the cost of training them. So that's a good bonus. Ships regenerate 15 HP per minute. Doesn't really have much of a bearing on this map. Now it's noteworthy that um, ships to repair them it costs wood, but because they regenerate HP, uh, if you just let them sit instead of um, instead of repairing them, then you'll actually save wood because they'll heal on their own, which is a pretty useful bonus. It's not really going to help in battles too much, I would say, but it definitely helps after the battles. So you don't have to take the time to repair those ships. They'll just do it on their own. The team bonus is that trade units yield 10% food in addition to gold. Now, this obviously is not going to benefit this match because you're not going to have trade in a 1v1 because there's not a team game. But in team games, this is a useful bonus because not only can you generate gold, but you can also generate food in addition to that gold, which can be pretty useful. And so it's I'm not sure specifically how helpful it can be, but I imagine that generating uh, food in addition to gold would be useful. So the unique unit, where is it? There it is. The unique unit is the Ratha. It is a Bengali unique chariot that can switch between melee and ranged attacks, strong versus infantry, weak versus skirmishers and camel riders. Um, yeah. Now the noteworthy thing about the Ratha is even when you switch between using a bow and a sword, you still have the cavalry armor class for both. Cavalry archer armor class, sorry, for both of those. So you're still gonna take bonus damage from skirmishers, even though you're using a sword. Now this unit is so fun. What I like to do is I like to go into the enemy's base um, in bow mode, and then snipe some units like maybe villagers or weak archers or infantry or something like that, and then go up to the building, switch to melee mode, and then just tear down those buildings. It's so fun. The fact that you can use two different modes for the Ratha is very helpful. It makes it a very dynamic unit, and that's the kind of unit we need. So, but the thing about the Ratha is they actually require both cavalry and archer upgrades. They use they use archer armor techs, but they require I believe I believe they require husbandry. They don't have thumb wrangler as I mentioned, so uh, they do benefit from Parthian tactics though. So that's pretty neat. But they you need husbandry, and I think they do benefit from bloodlines. But you need all these. You need these. You need these. So that's a lot of techs. I think I've read somewhere you need 18. You need 18 techs to fully upgrade a Ratha. And that's a lot. Definitely not an easy investment. Anyway, so onto their unique unit, or that was their unique unit. Onto their first unique tech, pikes. I've been told that's how it's pronounced. Rathas and elephant units attack 20% faster. Now that is useful. That applies to both. That applies to Rathas in both archer and melee mode. So that's a helpful bonus. It's useful for well, you have higher damage output per second, which makes sense. Um, and it mitigates some of the weaknesses of the Ratha to an extent by having an attack faster, and of course it also applies to elephant archers and battle elephants, so that's helpful. Very very good tech. Then Mahayana. Um, Villagers take 10% less population space. Now this is a useful bonus because it's a useful tech because it basically allows you to create more villagers uh, in the Imperial Age um, for less population space. Now, I think it does work retroactively, so you'll suddenly have a lot more population space to work with if you have a lot of villagers. So that's a useful application of the bonus of the tech, I should say. Anyway, I think that's all I really had to say about that. So moving on to the Dravidians. So they're an infantry and naval civilization. So neither civilization on this map is going to benefit from their naval bonuses, unfortunately. But um, yeah. So they're an infantry civilization. That's interesting. Received plus 200 wood when advancing to the next age. Now that's actually really useful if you're running low on wood, but um, if you're running low on wood, but you're almost to the next age, you'll suddenly get 200 more wood to work with as soon as you advance to that age. So that is a very helpful bonus. It can really help you out in a pinch. I know it's helped me out in a pinch a couple times at least. Now, they have up to Arbalester and they require 25 wood. So if you're going to go for that, then you need a lot of wood. And so that bonus is definitely going to help out with that, I would say. So that's it's a useful bonus. Now fishermen and fishing ships carry plus 15. Now that's not helpful at all on this map because this doesn't have any water. But on on water maps, it is helpful because you can actually uh, carry more. So I think it requires less travel time, but you don't get the resources as quickly. But um, there's less travel time involved, so that's how having an extra 15 carry capacity is helpful. But again, it takes longer to collect it because it doesn't come with a collection speed increase. So it might be a little bit of a trade-off. I'm not sure. Now barracks technologies cost minus 50%. That's very useful. Supplies. I don't know what it normally costs. Um, I don't know what it normally costs. Let's take a look at this. What does it normally cost? Okay, the bonus. No, it's not showing up. Okay, so they get supplies, squires, and artisan for cheaper. That's what it means. And I don't know if it applies to upgrades. It might. Like I don't know if it applies to like unit upgrades. It could apply to that, but obviously having the cost of barracks techs makes it easier to upgrade your infantry, which is their focus. So that's a helpful bonus for that reason. So the next bonus is skirmishers and elephant archers attack 25% faster. Now they have elite elephant archers. They don't have they don't have elite battle elephants. They don't even have hussars or camel riders or knights. So their stable options are severely lacking. So if you want a very population efficient units, you're going to want to go with the elephant archer because the battle elephants basically aren't worth your time. So they attack faster, which is actually kind of reminiscent of the Pike's tech for um, the Bengalis, but it is faster by default. Now this applies to skirmishers too, so you have a higher damage output versus archers that you normally wouldn't get with any other civilization. So in a head-to-head matchup against other skirmishers, even with lower numbers on your side, you're probably going to come out on top. That's probably what's going to happen. And elephant archers, same story. Elephant archers are already pretty expensive, so and they're reasonably population efficient. So them attacking faster is just going to help with that. So the team bonus is that docks provide +5 population room. Now that's completely useless on this map. I think I forgot to mention that this map is Serengeti, but that's what it is. This is a land map, so that bonus is not going to come in handy on this map at all. Yeah, sorry. That bonus is not going to be helpful on this map at all. It's completely useless. But on water maps, you build docks to build up your navy, and if you're starting to get housed, if you can't keep up housing production as fast, uh, you can build docks to produce more ships, and ships require population space. So you'll get population space bundled with the bundled with the building, so you can create more ships and not have to really worry about houses as much in order to keep up production. Now, interestingly, this stacks with the Slavic team bonus, which is, where is it? Where are the Slavs? There they are. Military bonus provide +5 population room. Now, I don't believe the dock counts as a military building. So if you're teamed with the Slavs, everybody gets extra population room for all the buildings that you normally produce um, military units at. So that's a very useful team bonus in that context. Um, yeah. So their unique unit is the Arumi Swordsman. Dravidian unique infantry unit which can charge its attack. Strong versus buildings and infantry. Weak versus archers at long range. Now, the interesting thing about this is it basically has the same mechanic as the Coustelier with the Bengalis, but the difference is the charge attack for the Arumi Swordsman has splash damage, so it does a bunch of damage to, I think, a .75 tile radius around the Arumi Swordsman. So you can actually use them very effectively against massed units if they have the charge attack. Now, the normal attack doesn't have that splash damage, but the charge attack does, and that sets it apart from the Coustelier, in my opinion. If it didn't have that, it would probably just be too similar to the Coustelier. But it actually makes it more effective than the Coustelier because uh, it is effective against massed up units because of that splash damage, and that's it's it's borderline overpowered. It can overwhelm almost any unit in the game, and it's pretty cheap, reasonably cheap. I think it's fast and it's quickly created too, so it's easy to mass them. Uh, they have like I think roughly the same cost as like a typical swordsman. Yeah, it's a little more expensive in the food department, but it is the exact same in terms of gold. See, 60 versus 65. Gold cost is the same. So it's basically the same as training a swordsman, except it trains very quickly, uh, and is quite fast, and has that overpowered charge attack. So it is a very good unit. So the Thericidai is the second unique unit. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? It's back. It's over here. Uh, Dravidian unique warship that fires multiple projectiles. Strong versus warships. Now this is a very heavy unit. It has 250 HP. The galley has only 165. It has 9 attack, 2 melee armor, 10 pierce armor, 6 range. So it's a pretty strong unit. And it must have some kind of bonus damage against warships because it takes them out really quickly. It does fire multiple projectiles, so that's one of the reasons it's effective. But it's a good unit. It's very strong on water maps. Now this isn't a water map, as I keep saying, so it's not going to help. You're not going to see it, but it is a very strong unit on water maps. It is a fantastic water unit, but it's a very fantastic warship, I should say. But it is very expensive. 180 wood and 60 gold a pop, and that is extremely pricey, especially in the wood department. I mean, that's almost as much. That's more than building a barracks. Like building a barracks costs 175 wood. Thericidae costs more than that. So that it's very pricey. Anyway, enough about that. So the unique techs are medical core. The first one is medical core. Elephant units regenerate 20 HP per minute. 20 HP isn't that much when the elephants already have so much HP, so it's a very small proportional effect, but it's pretty reasonable, I suppose. But the main usage is similar to the Bengali ship healing bonus, where uh, you kind of your units heal over time after a battle, um, without you really need to healing them with a monk. So it's a useful tech, I would say. Now it does apply to the battle elephants and the elephant archers, but as I keep saying, they have terrible battle elephants. They don't have elite battle elephants, and they don't have husbandry or bloodlines, so they're even weaker and slower. Um, but they don't have plate barding armor, so don't you shouldn't even really bother with the battle elephants. But their elephant archers are actually pretty good for for that tech. So anyway, so the other unique tech, this one's pretty strong. Infantry and cavalry attacks ignore armor. So the poor Teutonic Knight just can't catch a break. Talk about power scaling. But this is a useful attack. It really augments the Arumi swordsman even more. Because then they just sort of ignore the attacks of units like the knight. Um, Now the infantry and cavalry do a lot more damage. Now, since you only have up to light cavalry and normal battle elephant, your cavalry is not going to be that good. But the ignoring armor effect is pretty strong. I suspect that's probably why they made the stable so weak. Just because uh, they would have been too broken otherwise. And their infantry is already pretty good to begin with, so it's just as well they don't have good cavalry options. And that's about it. So I'm going to go back to the game and fast forward a bit. All right. Now this is a map with elephants. It's very interesting. You'll get to see a lot of elephants in this episode. There's an elephant right there. It basically functions the same as a boar. Yeah. All right. Here's the thing about elephants. They have a lot. They have a lot of food on them. Let's see if I can find another elephant. Um, there aren't any other elephants around. Um, I think elephants have like 350 food or something. It's a pretty insane amount. Anyway, continuing on. There's quite a lot of food. So how are the Dravidians doing? Okay, once the Bengalis are on the way to the feudal age, you're gonna see something funky. Where are they going now? Okay, we're going up there. Now he's advancing in feudal age. So just before he gets up there, I'm going to stop it. Alright. So he seems to be building a barracks, so he does have pretty good infantry, has champions. Doesn't have supplies, so it's gonna be more expensive. But he doesn't have plate mail armor, so that's a big hit. But he does have blast furnace, so infantry's pretty decent. So I don't know if he's planning on going for that, but it's probably more likely he's probably gonna go more for archers or cavalry with the limited options they have. But okay. Now he's in the feudal age. Huh. I wonder if he's grading. Okay. There we go. Yeah, he was able to like instantly use that bonus. That one that one lady instantly created a farm, and she's building a forward stable. Wow. Okay. I couldn't have anticipated that. So where are the Dravidians gonna be training? Why do they have garrison in here? They have militia. Makes sense. There are an infantry civilization after all. They're also building a forward building, but this one's an archery range. This one's a blacksmith. Typical house. This is very interesting. I'm not sure entirely what the AI is doing. So, I find the AI behavior to be a bit just odd. Which is partially why I do this series. Because the AI can do some pretty funny things. Now, what are they creating? Scouts. Well, that's really the only thing they could create from the stable. I don't know why I even need to ask that. Starting farms. This part of the game's always quite slow.
Hoy.
I stand corrected. He seems to be sending 2 men-at-arms forward and an archer. What the heck? What's he doing? Is he going for some kind of aggression? Another archer. He's really starting the aggression early. Okay. Trying to build a defensive watchtower, but it got denied. So they're gonna have to relocate the watchtower here. Otherwise, but it's not gonna be within range though. So this wood line is denied for the time being. But okay, it did take out the archer. Was taken out by the town center, so that's pretty good. But they're not gonna be able to unless they deal with this with these units. This wood line is probably gonna be denied. They have that watchtower there to protect this part of the wood line, but it's not gonna be very. You have all this. They have this wood line that's now basically moot. Okay, but oh, these scouts are gonna contribute though. Okay, so they are tracking down the units. Okay, so very interesting. So now they can actually return to this wood line, but I don't think they don't have the stone to make another tower. So they're kind of defenseless for now. They are creating an archery range though, so they might get some defensive skirmishers out. Oh, they are going for some aggression of their own. They're harassing these foragers here. Very interesting. Alright. This is actually surprisingly interesting. What's interesting is the Dravidians seem to be going for archers. Okay, they do lose a scout though. They might lose another. Yeah, they just lost another. Okay, so but they're not backing down. Now they're backing. No, they're not backing down. But because they didn't back down, they lost all of their scouts. So. Oh, AI. You just don't know when to give up. You can always retreat. If you don't retreat when you need to, you always can end up being defeated. So, to retreat is not cowardly. Some people haven't learned that. But it is not cowardly to retreat if you can't win the battle. This guy building a house is preventing this girl from creating building a blacksmith. What the heck? Is he just a normal scout? Yeah, they kind of gave up, I think, trying to build that blacksmith. Build it up there. That's hilarious. They didn't coordinate that very well. They were trying to build it here, but they couldn't with the other guy in the way. The AI just didn't think to just move the villager, so that's pretty funny. Okay, so they have some archers of their own, but the Dravidians have more archers. They have a lot of archers. They have some spearmen, but mostly archers. So the Bengalis are going to really want to go for skirmishers if they want to fend off those archers. But they're probably not going to go for that. What's going on here? Oh, that scout was getting killed. Okay. Huh. I don't know what's going on here. This is very strange. Alright. Oop. Bengalis are on the way to the castle age, though. How are the Dravidians doing? They're still in the feudal age. It doesn't look like they're gonna be in the castle age anytime soon. They're spending a lot of gold. They have like no gold, and they have like no food either. So it looks like the Bengalis are probably gonna be in the castle age first. Well, they are gonna be in the castle age first, but they're probably gonna. Holy cow! This is an invasion. Okay. They were trying to build a stone wall, but it got interrupted. So, yeah, this is a problem. And these archers have the hill advantage, so they're gonna be a bit more effective than usual. And these archers seem to be mostly focused on the villagers anyway, so that gives them a little of a chance to ward them off. And they do it. They were listening to my advice. They are creating skirmishers, so that's actually helpful. So this is actually a really interesting battle. There was a hill. They're taking advantage of a hill bonus, and these archers do go home to their families, and they can finish the stone wall. I'm not sure what they're doing though. Are they gonna be aggressors? They were just being defensive before, but I think they're actually gonna try to be aggressive. Which is very interesting. But now they're in the castle age, so I don't know when they got to the castle age. They must have just gotten there. Okay, but they seem to be mostly focused on villagers for some reason. Now they've crossbowmen, but they're working on the lead skirmisher. Oh boy, holy cow! Yeah, okay. This is a big archer army. Yeah, they're gonna have to either work on like elephant archers or actually more likely they have to do skirmishers because they don't have knights. So they don't really have an easy melee option, but skirmishers are always good. Because right now they are outnumbered quite a lot in terms of archers. They do lose a skirmisher on the end though. That guy could, if that guy's careful, he could actually get that scout, but he's not going to do that, so he's going to retreat instead. But he will die, so. But he could have gotten that scout that was going after him if he just stopped. They choose to attack this mill for some reason. We'll come back there 10 million years from now. Yeah. Okay, so they're not really doing anything right now. Whoa. Okay. They are sending out some more archers though. So they seem to be mostly focused on archery units, like crossbowmen and skirmishers. So it's a very interesting choice, I must say. I don't know if we're gonna get to see any Rathas, unfortunately. They seem mostly focused on generic units, even though Rathas are really awesome. Ooh, elephant units. They have elephant archers. Okay, here we go. Here's an elephant archer. They're building a second town center. Very interesting. They are almost to the castle age. There's a lot of lag here right now. This is a very interesting game, I must say. They are almost to the castle age. It's interesting to see what they'll do once they're there. Are they gonna go for infantry? That's probably not a good idea against these archers. And there's the elephant archer. Do they have any more elephant archers in production? They have another elephant archer there. They are not producing too many elephant archers. Okay, somehow they've managed to make a dent in this mill. I don't know how they managed to do that. Okay, no, that assaulting a town center with archers is not a good plan. An elephant archer is pretty tanky though, so it goes back with most of its HP. But they seem to be really fixated on this mill for some reason. I don't know why. But they do seem to be trying to go after villagers too, so I think they're somewhat successful. This mill is actually going down relatively quickly. Are they going to try to build a castle, or no, they're just making town centers. They have a siege workshop. Okay, so they're not really doing much of anything right now. So these guys are building a town center. That's not smart. They could easily get killed there by the archers. So now they pikemen. Alright. So the pikemen can actually do some melee damage to the villagers. Okay, yeah, they're losing some villagers right now. Okay, this is actually going pretty well. Yeah, so they're just losing villagers now. But those pikemen die. So I think they're gonna have to fall back. Right now the Bengalis have the numbers advantage right now. Which they didn't before, but now they do. It's probably because of the elephant archers and the skirmishers. Probably really helped. Anyway. What the heck? Huh. Well, that skirmisher doesn't seem to care that he's being attacked by a lion. Maybe, I don't think he can attack him. That's why he doesn't care, because he's within minimum range, so he can't attack him. He's trying though. He's trying now. But I think he might die to this lion. Nope, he did not. Okay. Okay, now they're actually starting to withdraw here. Oh, that's why. The mangonel is definitely gonna influence. Okay, yeah.
Hoi.
Ooh, they're losing units now because of the mangonel. They lost. Yeah, they're losing most of their army now because of the mangonel. But one mangonel can really turn things around against archers. Ooh, they have an armored elephant. They're creating armored elephants. Very interesting. So that's an elephant archer. I don't know where they have armored elephants. Uh, that is an armored elephant. It's currently, there we go. They're basically like battering rams for the Indian civilizations. So it's very interesting, I must say. The elephant units are getting quite a bit of action. Sure. Oh, they try to build lumber camps in the same spot. That's hilarious. I was wondering what was going on there. That was funny. This guy got here first, though, so they couldn't. That lumber camp ultimately got canceled. Got the relic. How many relics does he have? Where's the mouse? There it is. He has one. He has one relic right now. So, ooh, he is building a castle. And that's what he's going for now. So, what are the Dravidians doing? They are not doing much of anything right now. I think they're trying to still recoup from their losses. They seem to be booming for the most part. Okay. They have a lot of skirmishers right now. They have. There's some armored elephants as well, so that's gonna be useful against buildings. They're not making.
Hey.
They're making reasonable progress. Are we gonna see Rothas though? I hope we can see Rothas. They don't seem to be making any right now, so this might just be a defensive castle. Ooh, they have a pretty large army of their own. I didn't realize they were making this. They have their own elephant archers, and they have their own skirmishers. They have these deadly mangonels. So definitely, this is definitely gonna be a very interesting battle to take a look at. And they're gonna have to butt heads soon. They seem to have roughly equal numbers. 31. 21. Actually, their numbers are a bit less. But they have the mangonels, so that really turned the tide. Oh no, they do have 33. So 33 versus 31. Probably a bit more than that, but yeah, so their numbers seem to be roughly equal. And the mangonel shots are... One lucky mangonel shot could wipe out like half of the Bengalis army. So overall, I'd say this is a very interesting army composition, and I think it could shape up to be a very interesting game. What's going on here? Oh! He was trying to go for that relic, but he got denied. That's pretty funny. Now Bengalis are on the way to the Imperial Age. No, they're still in the Castle Age. They don't look to be advancing anytime soon. Yeah, holy cow, that is a huge army. That is a lot. Yeah, it looks... I guess it looks a lot more spread out, but it is a pretty large army for an AI. AIs don't usually make super big armies. Okay, so now he's in the Imperial Age. So now, got some more extra free villagers. I realize what I said was super redundant, but... Oh, that's another relic now. Okay, so how many is he up to now? So he'd be up to 3. So the one monk died trying to get the relic in the enemy's base, which isn't the smartest move, I would say. What's going on here? It's just a scout. Okay, they have another castle now, so they don't have ballistics. So that skirmisher's gonna be able to dodge, I think. Nope. Nope, he died. But he does seem to be. He's making some more. He's making some mangonels of his own, it seems. So he has at least one. Ooh, we do have Rathas. How many Rathas? Just 2 so far. They do seem to be making more, so we're actually gonna get to see Rathas in this battle. Oh, wow. Okay. This is gonna be a very interesting game. Okay. I don't know if the AI knows how to switch weapons though. He might not know how to switch weapons. That was something apparently the developers tried doing that for the samurai, and apparently the AI didn't know how to switch weapons with the samurai, so, wow, okay, so this is actually very interesting. Was he just trying to attack with melee? Oh, they do know how to switch weapons, okay. Yeah, they do know how to switch weapons. That's very neat. They are actually switching weapons, so we're going to see this. That elephant is not going to be very effective. Armored elephants are specifically effective against buildings and only really buildings. So, now these elephant archers are going to go down thanks to the skirmishers. So, this is actually very interesting. This is like elephants galore. Holy cow, this is actually a really interesting match. This is a really cool battle. There's a lot to see here. The Rathas need to be careful here. Okay, so he's in melee mode, so he's gonna try to take out those onagers. Alright. Did they just build another castle? I don't know when they did that. We get to see a lot of elephant archer action here. We got this. Well, elephant archers are more in use now than they ever were as the Indian unique unit, because they weren't very useful. But now that they can be created at the archery range, they're actually a lot more useful. So they're in melee mode, actually attacking enemies in melee mode. So they do know how to switch weapons, and that's very useful. Okay. But do you see that? He just switched weapons. So they seem to do it quite dynamically. And we're actually getting to see a lot of Ratha usage here. This is so cool. This is so incredibly cool. Right. This is so cool. The AI knows how to switch dynamically. Okay, but once they get, yeah, armored elephants, once they get to the, once they destroy this town center, pretty much the Dravidians are toast. That's basically the gist of it. So now they're in range mode, just sniping all the villagers. So they are. I think the Dravidians are going to have to resign soon. Dravidians are trying to make battle elephants. It's not going to do much good. Those are generic, unupgraded, non-elite battle elephants. So that's not going to be very helpful. Now they're trying to. Okay. Now they're melee mode, trying to go after the villagers now. Okay, so this is very interesting. We're actually seeing a lot of Ratha usage. I wasn't sure if they were actually going to create Rathas, but they did. And they know how to use them too, so that is really cool. The devs really made sure that the AI knew what to do for this expansion when playing Bengalis. So these villagers are going to go down. Yeah, okay, so what's up here? It's just the wood line. Whew! Okay. This is really cool. This is really cool. This is way more interesting than probably most of the episodes we've done. So now they're in melee mode attacking the town center as they should be. And you have some ones at range attacking the town center too, which isn't all that great, but you know, support is support. Now, ha, okay, yeah, very interesting. All right, so there wasn't really much the Dravidians could do once the Bengalis had the snowball with the skirmishers and the Rathas with the ability to switch between melee and ranged. That's a very useful unique unit. It's probably one of the best unique units in the game with that ability. I mean, it's the only one with that ability. I'm saying it's one of the best unique units in the game because of that ability. So that's it is an unbelievably good unique unit. It is so fun too. It's definitely the most fun of all the unique units that we've seen in this expansion. Um, but once they got going with the elephant archers and the skirmishers and the Rathas and the armored elephants, they were basically unstoppable. There wasn't really much they could do, or there wasn't really much the Dravidians could do to stop them, because that is a pretty population efficient army. Because Rathas are pretty tanky themselves. They have like elite Rathas. They have 135 HP and 6 pierce armor and seven or no six melee armor and 7 pierce armor and 7 range. Yeah, 7 range. So they're fully upgraded. They're actually good unique units. So they're tanky. So that elephant archers, Rathas, skirmishers. Well, skirmishers are not as population efficient as the others, but they can take a lot of arrow shots. So it's a very population efficient army. Is what I'm trying to say. And armored elephants too. They're good against buildings, so they're basically battering rams. So it's very good, very good match for the Bengalis. Dravidians wasn't much they could do. Their cavalry options are pretty poor. Uh, so once Bengalis got going, they really snowballed and won the game easily. So let's look at the stats. Um, score just yeah. Largest army 124 versus 71. Wow. Okay, this might be one of the largest armies I've seen the AI make. Units killed 344, units lost 175 versus 349. Buildings raised 27, buildings lost 0. They lost no buildings. Units converted 2. They have the most resources collected of all 4 of the resources, so that's good. They need that to fund their expensive army. They were the first to the Castle and the Imperial Age, but notably not the first to the Feudal Age. They explored 99% of the map. I never figured out how they managed to do that. I don't know how they do that, but they somehow managed to do it. Uh, yeah, okay. Relic Gold, 1,287. Yeah, Villager High, 192. So timeline went up and down. So there was a time here where the Dravidians actually had no military at all. I think I know what point that was. Yeah, that's the point I was thinking of about the 30-minute mark where the Dravidian or the Bengalis killed all of the Dravidian military units, and the Dravidians were trying to climb back, but they never got back to their peak. Because the Bengalis just ended up having too much momentum, and then they just steamrolled everything. So that's that's the gist, and I I hope you enjoyed that episode because I really enjoyed it. That was a very interesting game. That was way more interesting than most of the episodes that we have. So most of the AI matches are not very interesting for the most part, but this one was really interesting. I'm really glad that we got to see a lot of elephant action. Anyway, I guess I will see you in the next episode, which is also going to be a special episode. It will be the Gurjaras versus the Hindustanis. Hindustanis used to be the Indians, but they got switched around. So they got renamed and got some tweaks. So we'll get to see that. because the Indians just appeared in their original form a few episodes ago. So we'll get to see the new and improved Indians, aka the Hindustanis, in the next episode versus the Gujaras. So I will see you then. And you have a good day. I certainly will have a good day. So I'll see you then, and peace.